Lifestyle is the interest, opinions, behaviors, and behavioral orientation of an individual, group, or culture. So basically, lifestyle is how an individual lives. Hi, my name is Karan, and today I'm going to talk about how this lifestyle is directly related to diseases in rural communities in Australia. Let's get into it. So this study only focuses on rural population of Australia. So according to Australian Institute of Health and Welfare, on average, Australians living in rural and remote areas have shorter lives, higher level of disease and injury, and poorer access to and use of health services compared with people living in metropolitan areas. Poorer health outcomes in rural and remote areas may be due to multiple factors. Let's get into it in the next slide. Millions of people follow an unhealthy lifestyle, hence, they encounter illness, disability, even death. Problems like metabolic diseases, joint and skeleton problems, cardiovascular diseases, hypertension, overweight, violence, and so on can be caused by unhealthy lifestyle. Do you know chronic disease are majority contributors to the mortality gap between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander and other Australians? About 80%, about 80% of the mortality gap for people aged 35 to 74 years is due to chronic diseases. In 2016, people in remote areas were more likely to report barrier accessing GPs and specialists than compared to major cities. As shown in this above graph, this survey was taken by Australian Institute of Health and Welfare. So in major cities, number of services was 112, about 112 million, whereas in remote areas it wasn't not even 2 million. That's like not even like half of it. The way people in rural and remote areas access primary healthcare, it's totally different from what people face a problem in cities. Like in city you can just walk to your GP, but that's not possible in rural areas. For an instance, according to a report by AIHW, based on combined data of half a decade from 2005 to 2010, 57% of people with end-stage kidney disease who lived in very remote areas at the start of their treatment moved to less remote areas within 1 year. People living in remote areas of Australia uh, may need to they will need to travel long distance or relocate to attend health service. Another factor is risk behavior, smoking, drinking, and alcohol. A recent study has confirmed that alcohol consumption is significantly higher in regional and remote areas of Australia when compared to the major cities. Well, the next factor is occupational risk. According to AIHW, people living in rural and remote areas may face way more occupational and physical risk. For example, most of the rural people do farming or mining, so they can get really hurt themselves. So they are at occupational and physical risk way more than people living in metropolitan areas. People from poor social or economic circumstances suffer from health issues. So first talk about education. Only half population in the inner regions, outer regions, or the remotest areas have completed standard 12. So they might not have a clear vision about what is right or what is wrong with for them. For an instance, they just eat food to not get hungry. So they don't eat food to get nutrition. They just eat food to just not get hungry. So that's why they don't eat healthy. So the second one is lower percentage of people are employed as no or least access to proper workplace or work environment. That's why they have to do hard labor. They have to do farming. They have to work in mines. So which it's directly connected to the occupational health risk. Another factor is income. So according to a report by National Rural Health Alliance, income inequality is a significant issue for more than 6.7 million people of rural and remote Australia. So first of all, they don't get good education. So they don't get good education. That's why they don't get good jobs, and they have to do hard labor, so they don't get enough paid, and they have to pay more for the health and services because there are less health services in the rural areas, hence they are more expensive, earn less, and they spend more on health. That's why they become more poor. Let's talk about change. Most of the people who is in rural areas has accepted it, like this is the way they have to live, so they don't want any change. They don't their mind just don't go over there that things can change. They just give up. They just think like this is how they have to live for the rest of their life.
And we have to educate them that it's not it. That's not the end of the world. We have to teach them that anything can change if you just try.
But the other thing is lack of awareness. So Australian government are doing a lot of things for uh, for poor people, and there are a lot of NGOs, there are a lot of social work, but most of the people in rural areas are not aware of it. It can be due to lack of advertisement and a lot of things, but they are not aware of the things government is doing for them. Well, the other thing is environment. Every single person know each other because it's a small town, whereas they are scared to go to city because it's like they don't know anyone in city. And whereas in regional areas, in small areas, they know everyone, every single person. It's like a family. So talking about interventions, so first intervention is health staff visiting remote areas. So health staff should visit remote areas to promote physical exercise, as lack of regular physical activity is a primary cause of chronic disease, and regular exercise has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity, cardiovascular fitness, and body composition. The second thing is checking on weight gain in females. Also going to talk about critique of interventions. So first of all, poor development in interventions result in just waste of money and time is very important. Well, the other thing is if health services not provided properly, no advantage to interventions. It can also lead in disadvantages.